So why not take a pop at it? So 1985's just traded 14,008. 23 NASDAQ points, guys. 23 NASDAQ points of buy-side beautifulness. You know, you could wait around all day for that, right? And if you wait around all day for that trade, that's the deal, isn't it? That's the deal we're looking for. And then when the value turns up in this area here, then the trade just rips beautifully. Yeah, the value did drop, but it bounced back up, Jack. I mean, it's a moving object. You know, the value dropped here, so I'm not going to do any business during that phase. It's terrible. But this is a 30-second chart, so by the time I've mentioned it, it's already going back up again. It's a classic Buzzy Schwartz type idea, isn't it? So when this value drops, that's getting me discounts on the NASDAQ. And it's that discount on the NASDAQ that I want to buy into, that value dropping there. That's the deal I want to get the deal on. And that's the takeaway from that trade, guys. $2,500 on a 7 lot left in the trade. It's only a 7 lot, 2.5 grand. If I'd waited all day for that bit of business, who cares? $7,500, one trade on a 7 lot. That's not a lot of margin. What is the margin on the NQ just now, guys? Is it still 500? Have you got the margin numbers just now, Kim? For a day trade, Praveen, it's $1,000 now.
Yeah.
On the NQ. That wouldn't be surprising because it has been pretty volatile, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised at that. So for a trade with a maximum of account size of maybe about $10,000, maximum account size of about $10,000 to cover your margin plus a bit of cost, you've just made a $2,000 profit inside of about 5 minutes there. So I can sit at my desk all day waiting for this to make 20% a day, couldn't I? I don't have to trade every little move. I don't have to trade every little twist and turn trying to capture the occasional profit. I can wait for the big stuff. And that 20% gain happened in 5 minutes. And I was even still able to put it on NinjaTrader in time for the trade to show you guys. I mean, it's not anything but the ability to say, well, you know, we don't just talk about the trade. We can show you that it's possible to get the trade on at certain points. And you can see that, you know, you can put the orders behind these blocks, or you can do whatever, or you can watch the value line changing. If the value line is still behind this, you can stay in the buy trade because it should still go higher, right? It could still go higher than this. So you can say, well, I'll bring it behind that little volume block just there. I expect it to break the highs. And obviously you're expecting it to break the highs. You start watching it for it breaking the highs, and you start analyzing and adjusting your position according to how the trade develops. You can hardly blink before the trade's on and ready to go, guys. If you remember, this is a great example of what Buzzy was talking about in his interview. Kim remembers this because it made sense to Kim. I think. I don't know if anything makes sense to Kim, but sometimes she gets it, right? So it was a conversation that Kim watched on that interview, I'm sure. And what Buzzy said was, you know, the question was, why do you never make forecasts? Why are you never making a forecast for the future? Remember that conversation, Kim, that radio interview he did? And he says, because basically by the time I've made the forecast, I might have changed my mind. I might have actually changed my mind because the value always changes, doesn't it? So that's exactly the case. I mean, I'll look for a sell trade on bonds, and then I'll just pull it away because the value changes, and I'll look for another sell trade in bonds, and I pull it away, and I look for another sell trade in bonds, and I pull it away. I'm not going to go back through my tweets and delete the ones that I didn't end up doing anything with. I'll just leave them, and obviously it's up to you guys to make sure your charts are refreshed and up to date so you can see what we're talking about. So, when I see a trade setting up, my first job is to execute. My second job is to tell you guys that I've executed as soon as I can so that you guys can maybe see what we're doing. And if the trade has still got value in it, you might be able to join me on the deal. My first job is to make money for myself and for the bank, of course. And then when we see that trade setting up, I just want to make sure I get the deal done. By the time I got the trade onto NinjaTrader and tweeted it, talked to you guys about it, it was up here at 1090s. And sure enough, we got the break in real time. And that's what the deal was all about up here, wasn't it? It was a stunning, stunning trade example. Stunning trade example. It's the NQ S&P against the S&P. That's all it is, Jack. There's nothing on the charts that we haven't looked at every single day. It's just exactly that. It's the NASDAQ S&P against the NASDAQ, against the S&P, against the discounted cash flow, the 210s. That is all it is. Nothing hidden, nothing special, nothing else. Just purely those things. Now, obviously, it's better if we start getting some value for those trades. We start watching for the change in the value, the volumes, and everything else. But at the end of the day, it's a straightforward trade idea of, do I have any value to deal the scenario that's developing in the background? We'll cover this in Classroom because I wanted to start out today by looking at the two stock trades since I've got them sitting here, looking at it. And then we'll go back to this, Jack, if you don't mind. So